So the one thing you don't do when a woman's pulling away from you is blow up her phone. Do not blow up her phone. That is the number one thing that you don't do. And I know that in a lot of instances, men feel tempted to do this. I've done it in the past. But ultimately, it's not going to achieve the result that you want. When I was younger, if a woman pulled away from me, if a woman, let's say, left me on 2 ticks back in the BlackBerry days, they left me on the 2 ticks and I could see that she read it and didn't reply, I would, be like, why are you reading my messages and not replying? And I'd, on occasion, blow up her phone. And that never got me the result that I wanted, which was that woman to no longer pull away from me. And it's really, really crucial and important to understand that you cannot blow up a woman's phone when she pulls away from you. And there's a reason for this, She's pulled away from you because for whatever reason, she doesn't want to talk to you to the extent that she was before. Maybe her messages are getting shorter. Maybe she's just not responding altogether. And if that's the case, then you need to understand that blowing up her phone is not going to result in what you want, which is her to stop pulling away. It's only going to make her pull away even more, to the point where she just ends up straight up ghosting you. So what do you ultimately do when a woman is pulling away from you? Alternative, and definitely, you don't blow up the phone. So what should you do when a woman pulls away from you? Rather than blow up her phone, what should you do? It's pretty simple. You let her know that, well, at first, initially when a woman pulls away from you, you just kind of leave it. If a woman hasn't responded to you, if you're talking every day and she hasn't responded to you for a couple of days, then you just leave it for now. Don't respond. Don't triple message yourself. Leave it at that. She pulls away from you, leave it at that. Then if it's been, quite a bit of time since your normal speaking pattern, so say you talk every day and it's been 2 to 4 days, maybe on day 4 you could just say, hi, I've noticed that you've not been around as much and I'm just checking in to make sure everything's okay. If you want to talk, then I'm here. So you're letting her know that you're there and you're giving her the option, and then you leave it. If a woman wants you around, she will make it known. She will make it known that she wants you around. So if you come into the situation where she's pulled away from you and you haven't spoken for quite a bit of time, more than the normal time, it's simple. You simply let her know that you're there, and then you leave it alone. And you let her come back to you in her own time. Because here's the thing, the reason she's pulling away, it could be to do with you. It could be something you done or said. Maybe you said something that turned her off. Maybe she's talking to a few other guys and one of the other guys is a little more attractive. At this moment in time, she's finding him a little more attractive. Or maybe she's gone on a couple dates with a new prospect and it's gone well, so she's exploring that. Or maybe it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. Maybe it's because she's going through things in her work life, her personal life, whatever it may be. And so what you want to do is, right now you don't know if it's anything you've done, or maybe you have an idea it could be you or whatever, but you don't know for certain if it's something you've done. But if you start blowing up her phone, you're gonna make certain that it's something you've done. You're gonna turn it into something that you've done. So you don't blow up her phone. It could be something you've done that's made her pull away. It could have nothing to do with you whatsoever. So simply, you don't know 100%. Even if you think you know 90%, you don't know 100%. So just leave it. Leave it. She pulls away, you let her know you're there, and then you pull away. and you show some mental resolve that you don't need to be talking to her 24/7 to feel complete. And then she will come back to you in her own time if she wants to. Most of the time, if you're interacting with a woman, it's very, very common for her at some point in the relationship or courting phase or whatever it is that you guys have got going on, it's very common at some point for her to pull away a little bit. Sometimes it's, as I said, because she's going on a few dates with some other guys and maybe she had a real good time with that guy, so she's exploring that. Or maybe she wants to test your resolve. Sometimes women will do that. They will pull away to test you, to see how you're going to react in that situation, and then they can see how mentally strong you are. If you lose your mind, then they know, maybe, do you know what, this isn't the guy that I want to be with long term. Or maybe it's because she's got personal issues going on, work issues going on, financial strain. Like, you just don't know. But what I would say is, don't blow up her phone. Don't, and it's not about caring what other people think, but can you imagine if she's with her girlfriends and then she's saying, look at this guy sent me like 80 messages, 20 missed calls. Like, it's not going to look good. And it's not about what other people think, but sometimes, not always and often not, but sometimes the reason other people don't think it looks good is because it doesn't look good. And this is one of those cases. If she's with her girlfriends and they ask about you and she said, look, I just needed a little bit of space, and he's called me like 20 times, sent me 80 text messages unanswered, it's not going to look good, is it? Whereas you want to be that guy where, they ask and she says, look, I needed a little bit of space, and he honored that, and, he allowed me to have that space, and, then her girlfriend's going to say, oh, okay, he sounds quite mature, and then that maybe even instigate her to message you. So, you got to think about these things. But anyway, long story short, when a woman pulls away from you, do not blow up her phone in any circumstance. You let her know that you're there, and then you pull away and get on with what you're doing, and more times than not, she will come back to you in her own time. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description. With that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.